Hello everyone, this is Viz the game for the DOS, released in 1992. The original version for the Amiga and Commodore 64 and all that was 1991. This is based on an adult comic book. Viz was originally based on things like the Beano and the Dandy, that sort of thing, except it was kind of like a send-up, of X-rated version. And I'm not quite sure how you do this level. Basically, Viz was what the Beano or the Dandy would have been like if they were X-rated. You know, you get these kind of comic sort of characters, they've got some kind of flaw or they keep getting into trouble, that sort of thing. Except it's more kind of like grown-up versions. This character with massive bollocks, and this one who farts a lot, that sort of thing. Here look, Biffa Bacon. He's kind of like an adult version of Bully Beef and the Dandy. I actually used to feel sorry for Biffa Bacon. I mean, his parents treated him like shit, they always beating him up, that sort of thing. So there was kind of like the social satire aspect to it. There was also a character called Rat Boy, who was literally a rat boy. It was just basically the most horrible little git you could imagine. Oh, bird shitting all over everyone. And these flipping things where it keeps pausing when someone says something that's really irritating. Oh, how the heck does Biffa Bacon get knocked over by that sad little git? In the comic books he'd have knocked him into orbit. Oh, you keep running into these stupid people. Oh no, it's giant salami. Oh, that was a very quick game. Choose your player, let's have this one this time. I'm not quite sure how you do this, you've got to make him fart and blow himself up in the air. This is Johnny Fart Pants. He's kind of like an early version of the Slitheen from Doctor Who. Except Johnny Fart Pants was actually funny. Viz magazine was actually started by these two brothers. He had Chris and Simon Donald, that was it. I think they started off just putting it together in their bedrooms. I think when I started reading Viz it had an effect on my own comic books. So I've been writing comic books since I was little. I mean, the artwork is kind of amateur. Originally they were just kind of like Beano and Dandy stuff except a bit more risque. And with Viz I realised I could just start making adult sort of characters. So I started doing Mr. Nietzsche, the useless teacher. Was basically more interested in going off down the pub and smoking cigarettes and reading girly mags. There were also these two old blokes who were kind of pervert, voyeur types. You know, setting up cameras in the women's gym, that sort of thing. And there was also Bluey's Scolon. You know, Bluey's Colon, which I'll admit is a knockoff of Johnny Fart Pants. That bloke at the bottom of the screen is Roger Melly, the man on the telly. He's one of the Viz characters. He's like a parody of a kind of dodgy TV celebrity type. He doesn't really say anything interesting, just kind of swearing and slagging people off. Next up is Buster Gonad. More bollocks than a party political broadcast. I'm not quite sure how you do this, you've got to make him bounce up in the air on his bollocks. And to be honest, this game doesn't really have any of the humour of the comic books. It just has a very stereotyped idea about Viz, to be honest. And it's just, oh, let's put in swearing, let's have people hitting each other. I mean, there was more to Viz than that. I mean, this was something else that was in Viz top tips. I knew the ones in Viz were actually funny, which is more than can be said for these. There was actually a fuss about, I reckon, McDonald's was nicking top tips out of Viz. But that was just a rumour, I don't know whether it's true or not. Hope the lawyers got that. I actually got the autobiography of one of the brothers who were the founders of Viz, and he was talking about the game, and saying he never had any input in the game. It would have made sense if they'd actually come to him, you know, for jokes and stuff. Viz used to do Social Justice Warriors years ago. I mean, that was before Social Justice Warriors took over everything. But I mean, back then things like this didn't have any kind of political stance, they just took the piss out of anyone, regardless of their political beliefs. Another thing Viz used to do were these kind of spoof news things. And there are a lot of stuff kind of like comic versions of stuff you get in magazines. You know, in some magazines they have offers for some limited edition thing, and it costs a lot of money and basically it's absolutely fucking useless. That sort of thing. Oh, you've got to stop the bricks hitting you, you've got to knock them away before they get to you. Which I seem to be doing with various degrees of failure. I think that's another of the Viz characters. Big Vern or something, can't really remember now. That's like the old joke this stand-up comedian made. They must have liked my act, so they gave me a house, brick by brick. Yeah, that's hilarious, isn't it? I might have a look at Viz next time I'm in a newsagent or somewhere, see how it's going these days. I used to collect a lot of the old ones as well, and they're really great fun actually. So it's just one of these things that they just don't give a fuck what they say about anyone or anything. This is a nice looking game, I'll say that. I mean, the characters look like the characters in the Viz magazines. And it has got novelty value, I suppose, it's the characters from Viz. Then after about 5 minutes you realise this is just a generic racing game. And it's not really a very good racing game at that. It just feels like a couple of people strolling through the park. I think they could have done a lot more with the blooming Viz game, to be quite honest. It just doesn't really have any of the kind of humour or satire in Viz. It just gets repetitive really quickly. As the great philosopher himself would have said, bollocks.
Poor wretches whom the hand of heaven